Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Talk Sophia. I'm David.
And I'm Sophia. We're so happy you're here today.
Sophia, can I tell you about something that happened yesterday?
Of course. What happened?
I was talking to a friend in English. I wanted to say, if I had studied more, I would have passed the exam. But instead, I froze. I couldn't remember whether to say had studied, would study, or would have studied.
Really? That's one of the most common problems for intermediate English learners.
Exactly. I knew the words, but I didn't know which grammar pattern to use. Have you ever felt the same? You know the vocabulary, you understand the conversation, but when it's your turn to speak, your mind suddenly goes blank.
If that's happened to you, don't worry. You're not alone. Thousands of English learners struggle with had plus past participle and would plus base form because they sound similar, but they have completely different jobs.
And here's something interesting. Most people try to memorize grammar rules, but fluent speakers don't think about rules while talking. They recognize patterns.
Exactly. So today, we're not going to give you a boring grammar lecture. Instead, we're going to learn through real conversations, everyday situations, and simple examples that you'll actually remember.
And stay with us until the end, because we'll share one easy trick that helps you decide when to use had and when to use would without getting confused.
Plus, David is going to make one grammar mistake during today's lesson. Let's see if you can catch it before I do.
Hey, don't make me nervous already.
No promises. Everyone watching, listen carefully. See if you can spot David's mistake.
Ready? Let's begin with a simple situation that almost everyone has experienced. Mini story. Imagine you had an important job interview yesterday. You woke up late, you missed the bus, and you arrived 30 minutes late. How would you feel?
I'd probably feel disappointed.
Exactly. Now listen carefully. If I had woken up earlier, I would catch the bus. Does that sound right?
I'm not going to answer yet. What do you think? Was David correct, or did he make the grammar mistake I mentioned earlier? Keep watching, because we'll explain it in just a moment. All right, everyone, let's find out if David made a mistake. David, you said, if I had woken up earlier, I would catch the bus. Something doesn't sound right.
Really? I thought it was correct.
This is exactly where many English learners get confused. When we talk about an imaginary situation in the past, we use this pattern: if plus had plus past participle to would have plus past participle. So the correct sentence is, if I had woken up earlier, I would have caught the bus.
Exactly. Let's try another example. I forgot my umbrella. What could you say?
Maybe, if I had taken my umbrella, I would have stayed dry.
Perfect. That's a natural English sentence. Curiosity moment. But wait, what about would plus base form? Isn't that also correct?
Good question. Yes, it is, but not in the same situation. Let me show you.
Real life situation.
Imagine someone asks you, what would you do if you won $1 million? You're talking about an imaginary situation now or in the future. So you say, I would travel the world. Notice, we use would plus base form, not would have plus past participle.
So, present or future imagination. Would plus base form. Past imagination. Would have plus past participle.
Exactly. That's the easiest way to remember it.
Mini practice. Let's play a prick game. Sophia, I'll say a sentence. You tell me if it's correct. Ready?
Always.
If I had known your number, I would call you.
Nope, that's incorrect. It should be, if I had known your number, I would have called you.
Oops, I almost made the same mistake again. Another everyday example.
Now listen to this. If I were rich, I would buy a beach house. Is this about the past?
No, it's an imaginary situation now.
Exactly. That's why we use would plus base form, not would have bought.
Quick memory trick. Can you give everyone an easy shortcut?
Of course. Whenever you hear yourself saying, if I had, immediately ask yourself, am I talking about something that already happened? If the answer is yes, your next pattern is usually would have plus past participle. But if you're imagining a situation now or in the future, use would plus base form. Simple. Retention challenge. Before we continue, here's a challenge. Which sentence is correct? A, if I had studied harder, I would pass the exam. Or B, if I had studied harder, I would have passed the exam. Don't answer yet. Keep watching.
At the end of today's lesson, we'll reveal the answer and give you one final speaking trick that will make these grammar patterns feel completely natural.